Look, I come downstairs, a fucking passport. Are you fucking joking me? Is this really what you want from me? A fucking reaction? Give me a fucking reaction. You destroy my monitor, you destroy my fucking passport. I'm fucking done. Happy birthday, Mum. Happy fucking birthday.
70Broad, the story of a killer on the loose and uploading his story to YouTube, suddenly came to a crashing halt when he uploaded postponing videos due to police involvement. The creator of 70Broad dropped the act and stepped forward, announcing that he's had to cancel the web series due to the police arresting him.
Yeah, I started 70Broad about 3 or 4 months ago. And when it first came out, my confession, I'm so sorry, gun in it. There was a gun in it. That gun is a starting pistol. This particular weapon was illegal. And then I get arrested. No handcuffs because I'm not doing anything. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna carry on.
A tragic moment for fans of the original story, all rushing to show their support in the comments section, including Nightmind himself, giving him words of encouragement during these unfortunate times. But was it actually true? Or was this just another layer in the story? If we look at the original 70Broad web series, on the surface, we would see that it was about a killer on the run from the police. But, as I discussed in my previous video, there is an underlying theme that suggests the main character is fully aware that he is in a web series. And on Twitter, we clearly see a relationship build between this character and the creator of the show. But now, we're seeing the creator step forward, claiming that the web series is over, but he's going to continue giving updates until the police investigation ends. It's also interesting to note that from this video onwards, he always asks the audience to like and subscribe. That alone would make most people skeptical. But what about the police investigation? Why are the police investigating him, and does it hold any ground? George claims that the police saw one of his older videos featuring a gun that he owned. Obviously, in the UK, which is where George lives, guns are banned. But this particular gun, according to George, isn't a real gun. It's an Olympic starting pistol. However, this starting pistol can easily be converted into a real gun, which is why, according to this article from The Independent, the UK passed a law in 2010 asking for all starting pistols to be handed in before June 4th of that year. After that, it would be illegal to own this kind of weapon. The series 70Broad took place across 2016 and 2017, 7 years after this law passed. So the short answer is yes, it's very possible that George got into trouble for owning this gun and is now being investigated by the police. And because he's had a bad experience from the media and several other areas over his show, he thought it would be too risky to continue it. For the first time ever on this channel, I had no idea if what I was watching was real or fictional. George had fooled people before, but that was only with people who didn't quite understand this kind of storytelling. This was on a completely different level if it was fake.
Hey guys, welcome to the Q&A.
While George was being investigated by the police, he decided to keep his fanbase updated by continuing to upload videos of the situation, including a couple of Q&As and reactions to his original 70Broad series.
I think you drop it before I even say drop it.
Nah, surely not.
Because I don't even say it.
He also uses his Twitter to give reviews on movies he's just recently seen, while also posting some pictures parodying storylines from comics.
Will you be doing the cinnamon and or mannequin challenge? Well, the answer is pretty obvious. Yes, I'm actually going to turn my channel into a cinnamon challenge channel, and then we can just sort of turn it into maybe a cinnamon eating channel.
George was really connecting with his fanbase, more than he ever had. But unfortunately, the police investigation was only the beginning of George's worries. On February 7th, 2017, George uploads a video claiming that his university had found his web series after the police contacted them. It's safe to say, just like everyone else, they weren't the most understanding.
So I get a call yesterday from this guy at university, I won't say his name, and he calls me up and he's like, George, we've seen the videos, and he starts going really fucking angry. He said, you know, I couldn't even finish one video because of how worried I was.
They told George that what he was doing was dangerous, and many of the students could find this distressing because there were no disclaimers at the start of the video. This angered George quite a lot, and his anger may have contributed to his next update video, stating that he had been suspended from his university during the police investigation.
I've been suspended from university. Their reasoning was, 1, because of the charges I'm facing, 2, threatening behaviour, which I don't agree with.
Now, this is where it starts to get questionable. While the police investigation was very possible, getting suspended from university was a little harder to believe. It's still very possible, as George throughout these videos is becoming very irrational and frustrated that no one is understanding his series. He got backlash from the press, the police don't understand his story, his university are calling it dangerous, and now his family, who appeared in earlier videos, are also saying that he should stop uploading. George just wanted to tell a story in a different way, and everyone is now punishing him for it, which is very clearly starting to take an effect on him mentally. This also led me to believe that he may have caused some problems off camera that led to his suspension from university, but is choosing to ignore that part because his followers on YouTube and Twitter are the only ones that seem to be supporting him at this moment in time.
Good morning, everybody, welcome to Vlogmas Day!
In retaliation from his university suspending him, George decides to make an 8-part series called Vlogmas. Vlogmas, not surprisingly, is a parody of vlog channels and how they would try to do anything for views. They'd probably jump out of a window, try to drown themselves, kidnap and kill people just for a video title. It was very extreme and something you wouldn't want to upload when you're currently in trouble with the police. This had almost confirmed for me that what we were watching was another layer within the Seventybroad story. But I wasn't fully convinced until I was presented with a piece of evidence found by George's fanbase. Fans of Seventybroad created a Discord server and connected it to George's Twitter page. That way, if George ever tweeted something and deleted it, the tweet would remain on the Discord. George very clearly knew about this as he was in the Discord server, and used this to his advantage to spread clues. On the 28th of March 2017, George tweeted out,
62 originally, 54 days now, ahead of schedule.
This was deleted immediately, and then replaced with, whoa whoa whoa, leak has been dealt with. Sorry about that. This particular tweet reminds me of the original Seventybroad series, where the creator tweeted out some spoilers of the ending, and then the character would reply with, you're spoiling the end. So this particular tweet seemed to be a spoiler of an upcoming event. But what? Well, on the very first day the Seventybroad series was created, which was the 27th of September 2016, if we count 62 days from there, we land on the 28th of November 2016, which coincidentally has a video called Expelled from University. This video was from the original series, as we discussed in the older video. Fans of Seventybroad then decided to count 62 days from when the series supposedly stopped, which was on the 4th of February, and then counted 62 days from there, and it landed on the 7th of April 2017. Users in the Seventybroad Discord server predicted that on the 7th of April, we will get a video announcing that George has been expelled from university in the real world, just like his character in the show. So we continued watching in anticipation for April 7th, and on that day, lo and behold, George uploads a video expelled from university because of YouTube channel.
I'm gonna make this really short. As you can probably tell from the title of the video, you know, what I always thought was gonna happen has happened. I've been kicked out of university.
George's life is slowly falling apart in a similar way to his character. The character in Seventybroad constantly begged George to make the story happier. He couldn't take the pain that he was being put through. And now, in an almost Twilight Zone kind of way, George the creator is having to experience the exact same pain he put his character through. Life imitates art.
Full circle. Felina. Shh, you're spoiling the end.
As you probably would have guessed, the story doesn't stop there. George then gets into more trouble as his stepdad finds out he's been expelled from university. He tries to convince his stepfather not to tell his mother as he's handling it. A few days after, a letter through the mail arrives telling George that he's been evicted from his student accommodation.
I've told my Discord channel, but I haven't told anyone here. Basically, I'm probably being kicked out of this house. Yeah, because it's student accommodation. When you have non-students living in a student house, you have to pay like extra taxes. And I had that argument with my stepdad, so I'm probably not welcome there. I'll probably have to live in my fucking car or something.
Which is exactly what happens. George is forcefully removed a few days later from his student accommodation and decides to set up a living space within his car.
Pretty homely, actually. You know, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Do I look comfortable?
He later sneaks back into his student home to collect the remainder of his stuff.
I've texted my housemate to leave the window open. I know it sounds ridiculous.
Not to mention, at this point, we begin to see more playlists appear on the channel, and if you weren't convinced that this is still all part of a story, then the descriptions of these playlists may put your mind at ease.
With the police arresting and trying to charge him, his university threatening to expel him, and having to postpone Seventybroad, George's life implodes. Expelled, a possible prison sentence hanging over him, homeless, and living in his car, George's life goes downhill.
These are all written as if George is telling a story, as if we're reading a blurb at the back of a book. We are witnessing a very meta show presented in an incredibly unique way. George has almost used the backlash of the media to his advantage. While this is very clearly unintentional, it's helped establish the idea that everyone is against George, and the only people he has left are his followers on YouTube, and even some of them have caused arguments in the Discord.
I created you all! Don't talk back to me!
What?
Here's the thing, we'll turn the engine on. It turns on. Green light, we're in business. Hey, it works. Fucking works.
After a few days, George gets a little lonely in his car and decides to stream for a couple of hours every night, just to chill out with his followers, basically. There's a couple of storylines that take place here, but don't really go anywhere, and are only here just to entertain the audience during the live streams. For example, there was a stalker van that was following him during his live stream, which led to a couple of other strange events. He was even mugged during one of the live streams, and because he had a backlog of previous streams, it looked like a real YouTuber just trying to pull a publicity stunt to get more donations. It raised a few eyebrows and even reached the YouTube channel Drama Alert that reports news and drama between other YouTubers.
Also in the news, a small streamer known as Seventybroad got mugged during his live stream. Now I must say I am suspicious of this one, but we're gonna play the clip for you right now. Roll it.
Hey, take it, fucking take it. Alright, what?
Now I'm sorry, but that shit seems fake to me. That seems like a publicity stunt. And I just keep thinking about, okay, what if it is real though? Now he's getting hate because it appears to look fake. It's just, I'm sorry, it looks fake.
A few weeks pass, George's mental state is becoming worse. He still heard nothing from the police, and living in his car for a good few weeks is starting to take its toll.
Let's read some of your comments, shall we? Just go home and see your family, man, no matter what. George, listen, man, this shit is obviously taking a toll on you. YouTube is a pathetic excuse to be living rough. Is it? You sound like someone like all the rest of them.
And to make matters worse, he now has a stalker. A YouTube channel called Fuck Seventybroad appeared claiming to know George's personal details and was planning to release them. This person found George's location and began filming him with a drone. George says that he believes whoever this person is the same person who told the police about his web series.
Lovely, lovely advice. You know what? I'm gonna force myself to go home. And you know, whatever the repercussions are, it's your fault.
After much debate between his audience and himself, he is finally convinced to go back home to his parents.
Stuff you gotta do for YouTube nowadays, just to please you guys. Ooh. Holy shit! There you go, now I'm forced to go home!
Spoilers, it doesn't get much better.
What the fuck?
No, wait! Dave! Look, I come downstairs, a fucking passport. Are you fucking joking me? Is this really what you want from me? A fucking reaction? Give me a fucking reaction. Destroy my monitor, you destroy my fucking passport. Fuck off!
It's all becoming too much. And then suddenly, the video stopped. We barely heard anything from George for months. Then, a year later, the Seventybroad Twitter began teasing the end.
Thanks for the help. It's time to come to terms with what I have done. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
A couple of months later, and then suddenly, all the videos had been privatized. With one community post. A picture of George. With one single word. Felina. I'm really fucking sorry.
Like, subscribe, comment. Just because you don't actually know him and he's just online doesn't mean you can bully him and be nasty. You wouldn't do that in a pub. You wouldn't go into the pub and say those sort of things because you'd worry that someone would punch your face in. Well, treat the internet in the same way. It's like a pub, so don't do it online, okay? Like, subscribe, comment, be nice.